Hello, everyone. How are we doing today? Hello, hello. It is Tuesday, noon, Eastern Standard Time here. How are you guys doing? Oh, I see your comments there. Let me take this off so you guys can see me. I just want this to be at the beginning of the video so that if you're not getting the text alerts, you can sign up for them by texting the word live stream to 540-870-0726. Thank you so much if you've already joined up. Hello, how are you today? I am so happy that you could join me for our Getting Fruity tutorial today. So it's Tuesday. This is going to be Tutorial Tuesday. So we'll start with a two-part tutorial that'll start at noon, and we will do our prep items, talk about the things that are for sale in the coffee shop for the tutorial of the day, and then the things that have to be done and need a few hours to crust over, set up, that sort of thing. We will let those sit, and then I'll see you again at 7 p.m. So if you are able to join during the daytime one, you can watch that one first, and then you can catch the second part later in the evening. But let me say hello to a few people before we get started. Let's see. Hey, Jennifer, how are you? Oh, I like that. Hey, hey, what do you say? That's cute. Hi, Deborah, how are you? Hey, Becky, it's good to see you here today. Now, okay, this is what I see. Someone said hello, but that's, if you haven't granted StreamYard permission to show your name, that's what I see now. But later I'll see who you are when I go back and look at the Facebook comments, okay? Oh, and look, Miss Barbara is here from Idaho. And we have another hello here. I'll see who you are later, okay? We've got Santa Fe, Texas in the house. That's fun. Let's see, someone is decorating while I decorate, so that's going to be cool. Have another hello here. Hello, Miss Robin. How are you today? Let's see, we've got just a few more. Oh, look. Okay, so Jennifer, I can see you. Tuesday. Yeah, that's right. It's 2-for-1 Tuesday. So Jen, if you don't mind, will you drop them in a link to the new group? We have a new group called Cookie Snack Attack with Seriously Sweet. It is everything about cookies. So you don't have to actually make cookies to be in the group. You can like cookies, eat cookies, decorate cookies, enjoy watching tutorials about cookies. If you like to see cookie product, if you want to just join in general cookie shenanigans, you are welcome in that group. Please keep it super positive, no negativity allowed. Also, please know that I did have to add an additional group rule that I totally forgot when I set up the group, but it's incredibly important to protect us all. We can't have any trademarked images in that group. So please just don't put a post in there for that, and then that will be all set as well, okay? And let's see, Lavelle. Oh, Lavelle, your name is showing today, so I think StreamYard must have it, so that's good. Hey, Sally, how are you doing today? Loved your last blog. If you would like to drop a comment in with a link to your blog, I would love that. Sally has a whole blog about cookies and where she recreates from cookie tutorials, and it's quite good. Very impressive stuff going on in there. Amy, hello. Hi, Teresa. All right, let me go down just a little bit more. Let's see, Erin is here. Hi, Erin. Hey, June, I'm so glad you could join me. Let's see, Donna is here today. This is fun. This is very fun. You guys already know the drill, right? Signing in and everything. And is it Veronique? Is that how you say it? You know, y'all, I'm just absolutely terrible with anything that isn't a Southern slang. So forgive me if I said your name wrong, but I am so happy you are here with us today from Sherbrooke, Quebec. Sandy is here. Sally, hello. I did see your hello. Let's see. I have someone here that I can't see your name yet, but I'll see it later. So thank you for saying hello. And Amy, oh, Amy, I'm so glad. I'm so glad. I hope you're going to like this 2-part series that I'm going to be doing. Also, you guys, so much fun. Hey, Julie. So much fun. Yes, drop that in. And that will be a live link, I believe, if you're actually on Facebook and you see it. Okay. Jennifer is here from Texas. Let's see. We have Michelle. Hi there. Let's see. Please, yeah, definitely in the comments, you guys, let me know where you're watching from. And what we're going to start out with today, this is called Getting Fruity, and we're going to start out with the royal icing transfer templates. Those are available for sale in my coffee shop. I believe Jennifer dropped a link in for us. So everything's in there. You have a big packet today. So you can either get just the supply list for free. And so if you can create your own templates, you're good to go. Hey, Allison, let me see. Let's see. Allison is here. She is a Culpepper. Let's see. And Christine is here. Hello, Culpepper. We've got some Bakersfield, California guests with us. Nice. All right. So in the coffee shop, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You have 10 templates that I created for you in the standard 6x6 format that I normally use for just $10. So that price will be increasing because I usually sell my templates at $2 a piece. But this is everything you need for summertime fruit royal icing transfer templates already made up for you. And we're going to go through how to make most of these right now. If we don't get to anything in a reasonable amount of time for this first one, then we will circle back to it tonight in the second part of the tutorial that will be at 7 p.m. Tonight, we are going to be doing a picnic theme. So if you've already purchased your items in the coffee shop, thank you so much, because that support is what is enabling me to do the live streaming and continue to improve equipment and to do more live streams per week than what I was doing previously. So this is a lot of fun for me. I really enjoy it. I hope you guys do too. I did want to show you this. Ooh, let's do it down here. I forget that virtual background. So I did not link any cookie cutters for you today, because what I'm going to show you how to do, you can do on any shape that you want. So some of you love excuse me, some of you absolutely love the hexagons, bestagons. So if you like that, this design will work on there. You can do it on large plaque cookies. This is the American flag cookie that I did in the patriotic cookies, but you can turn it this way or this way and have a really cute like picnic blanket. And since it's a picnic theme that we're going for today, I wanted to just give you some variety. So these are the shapes. I might even do this tonight, you guys. Tonight's when we're going to be doing the airbrushing and putting our royal icing transfers onto these and laying out the design. So we might even do a little t-shirt tonight. I thought of a cute design. I've got these all pre-iced. They're already dry. That way we can jump right into airbrushing. Also, if you watched a previous tutorial with me for tacos, I did the 3D taco piñata. So this is the cutter from that. This is just a basic Ann Clark, but honestly, if you have a circle cutter, you can just take a circle cutter and cut it in half. I'm going to also show you tonight how to do a large watermelon cookie to put along with your picnic cookies, just because it's so cute. All right, so let's jump into these. In the purchase today, let me say hello to just a couple more people really quick. Let's see, I've got, oh, I bet that's Rebecca. Hi, Rebecca. It doesn't show your name, but I bet it's you. This is Miss Julie from Holland, Michigan. And Jennifer, yes, would you drop a link in for Amy for the coffee shop too, just in case? Although at the bottom, it's got the information for you guys for the, I'm going to take that off because that's been floating around. So when you rewatch the video, that's your information for signing up for the texting, okay? And then let me pop this up just for a second. So there's two ways that you can get the items for today on the coffee shop. If you just want the supply list, you can get just a free download on the supply list. If you want to get the supply list and make a donation, you can do that too, but there's no purchase required on the supply list. If you want the royal icing transfer template packet today, then those are all bundled together. And in that same download, there is already a supply list so that you don't have to worry about following two downloads, okay? But all of that is in my coffee shop. It's an artist support site. What is so wonderful about this site in particular is that they don't take any commission. So what you give comes straight to us as the artists. It's very nice for us to be able to do that. And let's see, I got it. Oh, Jen, I did not know, excuse me, I did not know you were driving already. So no more dropping links in. We'll get someone else to drop links in. Let's see. Okay, let's get going. How do you guys feel about this? Everybody can see everything okay? I did figure some more things out this weekend, you guys. My camera is a little higher so that I don't have that weird thing going on above my head with my virtual background. So I hope that's good. Hope you can see me okay. I believe everything is clear. So I think we're going to just get going. If you have questions and I miss them during the live stream, please just drop them in over on the right-hand side. I promise I'll come back to you afterwards. This is currently streaming into my Facebook store page, which is Seriously Sweet on Davis Street. If you're not on that page, I hope you will follow us and like us on that page. Also, it's streaming into the new group Cookie Snack Attack. If you like that group, want to join that group, and then invite your friends, we are already at 428 people. I just checked right before we went live. So fantastic group. Lots of good info already going into that group. Box reveals, product sharing, all that kind of stuff is happening in there. So make sure you like that and then invite your friends. We even have a little handy invite button at the upper right-hand corner if you're doing it from your phone. And then you can select who you're from your friends list, like who you think would enjoy the cookie stuff. So invite those people. And then we're also on our YouTube channel, Seriously Sweet Cupcakes. So that's all the housekeeping. Now let's get down to it and have some fun, okay? So I would like to start today, if it's okay with you guys, I want to start with the lemon. Now in your transfer template packet today, you have two sizes of the lemon, a large and a small. I'm going to just demo this one. And I want to show you two different ways that you can do this. And you know what's so cool about the fruit is it's good for so many things. It's good if you're doing drinks and you want to do lemonade. There you can use the slice template that's in the packet today, and you can make slices of lemons that you can drop in. We've got it set up where you can make it textured or just make a really basic one. We're going to be doing watermelon, strawberry. So a lot of these you can do just as flat transfers, or you can sculpt them a little bit and treat them like 3D. You can do them with picnic scenarios. You can do them for baby shower. So a lot of things that are in your template packet today are multi-purpose. So I have a neon yellow. I love, can you see that? That it's super bright yellow. I hope that's showing up on camera because on my computer, this looks a little peachy, but this is like off the chart. Let me pull back this way just a little. This is off the chart neon yellow in person. So I'll watch the video later, but is everybody seeing this as yellow or as orange? Because I promise you it's like Lego yellow. It's so bright. All right. So just going to trim the tip of the bag, get the tip off here. This is, let's see, what would I say? This is outline consistency icing, maybe a good 20 seconds. So this is just a general shape of a lemon because I want, in our picnic theme, I want to have a little piles of lemon, but you could also use this for lemonade stands this summer. So both of these templates would be super handy for that. Very cute for a baby shower if you want to use the larger lemon and write names on it so that you know for sure you won't have any cratering. You could do the baby name or a question mark if it's a gender reveal. So what we're going to do here is we're just going to start. Let me make sure I'm centered up. Let me get out of the glare right there. We're going to start and just do that little tip by pushing a little icing into it. Then we're slightly up above the lemon. And we're going to come back this way and we're going to do into that tip. So we just have a basic outline. So can you see that okay? Then I'm going to come up to this one. Let's go ahead and do two of these because I want to show you two ways that you can do this. I personally have really gotten into multimedia cookies and sculpting things, adding extra texture and dimension when possible. Really love that. This cookie, however, this you can do. Now, if you get seasick, look away for a second. Just a little shake with this. And this will settle down. Can you see that okay? There we go. You see if the light is throwing out the colors a little bit. Let me turn this up just a smidge and see if that will help our there. That's a little bit better yellow, I think, right? So this one I'm just going to do as a flat lemon, shape of the lemon, bright yellow. So it's going to read really well what it is. The reason we outlined and then moved on is I really wanted this to set up because now what we're going to do, I just want you to see how quick you can definitely pop back in. We're going to make this almost a 3D lemon. Can you see how much icing I'm adding there? Then we're going to let that sit. We're not going to jiggle it around. We're going to let it sit and crust. I'm going to move on to another template, but then we're going to come back to this one after it's had a minute or two to crust over. And I'm going to show you how you can very easily with a small paintbrush, the food brushes that we use. This is linked in your supply list from Wilton. I'm going to just show you how we can texture this. And then tonight, I'm going to use some of those fancy bagel dusts that I got in the Tinker Dust. I'm going to use the bright lemon one, and we're going to dust this so that you can see the texture that we set up for today. So I tried one yesterday. I'm not going to show you the finished thing until tonight because I want you to join me tonight to assemble the whole cookie. But oh my goodness, how much fun. So let me do one more of these while we're waiting. And then I'll let this outline set up. It's just important that you have the right consistency icing, and then just understand as you're watching this video, it's real time. So this isn't going to take a ton of time. So let's slide that one up. Now, in your Royal Icing Transfer template packet today, I made you 2 in color. Now, again, on my screen right now, for some reason, these are showing completely orange, but these are actually limes. When you print it out, they should be green. The reason I printed them out in color is because I'm going to use the larger one for what I'm about to show you, but we've been doing so much brush embroidery lately. I want you to see how easy it would be for you to create a lime, a lemon, an orange, but to do it with texture, with just very little effort, okay? I know, Allison, I'm so excited that I get to use the Tinker Dust. So this template I did in color, so you can get the idea for the shading, because that will help you when you start to actually get confident enough to do dry dusting. That's on here. And then also I want you to think about using the brush embroidery to do the slices. Okay, and then I forgot to tell you my super exciting news. I have a whole series coming out for this summer called Tiki Hot. So that is my big announcement, that on Tuesdays for the next probably 4 weeks, we are going to be doing all kinds of things that are Hawaiian or Tiki themed. So much fun for summer. We're going to cover a ton of different textures. By the time we get our cookies done, you will have an entire cookie collection that you can make for summer, for luau, for barbecue, whatever you'd like to use it for. And I'll be guesting, I'll be a guest instructor in the private group with Nancy Westfall for Colorful Cookie in June. And then if you are a member of the private group for Frosting Creators of San Antonio, I'm going to be a guest instructor with them in July. Their pieces are also tropical in theme, so they're going to tie into this whole set. So if you are in those groups, you're going to get 6 to 8 designs before the series is over that are all fabulous. They are so cute. The reason I decided to do that is so that you would not have to buy a ton of different supplies and different colors. If you see the first cookie, you decide you like it, you're going to know exactly what you need to move through all of the projects. They're all going to be free tutorials, okay? Thank you guys so much. Let's come back to the lemon real quick. Let's go ahead, and you see just that amount of time. I'm going to fill in this one, and I'm going to leave it to sit, and we're going to go ahead and move back to this one. Remember the first one we did that I said we just needed it to crust? So I've just dampened my brush off to the side. I just have one of my little art palette, my paint palettes, right? Dollar store, get 6 of them in a pack or something for $1. I've got it off to the side. I'm just dampening the tip of this brush. And the only reason I'm dampening, I find it gives a better texture when we do this. It's not really the stipling technique, because it's not just putting it the layer on top of a dry transfer. We're actually going to try to sculpt this with our brush a little bit, and I find that it releases from what you're working on a little bit better if your brush is damp, but we definitely don't want to add any water. So what we're doing right here, this particular brush is the round one that I prefer to use for brush embroidery. We're just going to come in here, and we're basically making the cool skin that's on the lemon by just doing all these cool little dots. And because the brush is damp, it's not adding any water, so this is not going to move. So you saw it was maybe sitting there for 2 minutes before we started this. And because it's damp, it's very easily, and I'll lift it and show you in just a second, but it's very easily going into the icing. And you can see when it starts to not release. Now I'm going to go ahead and finish the whole lemon, and then I'm going to lift it so you can see it. You can also do this with fondant tools. I just prefer the brush because it is a little more natural looking, and that all of the little divots aren't exactly the same size and uniform. And it also allows me to push the royal icing around to get a really cool shape on my little lemon. So when this one dries tonight, it's actually going to be a raised lifted lemon. And I'll probably make some more before we come back on tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern time in the Cookie Snack Attack group. But let me carefully lift this. So can you see all the little, let me see if I can get, let me go slow. Can you see all the little divots? Let's let it focus. See all the little divots. So it actually looks like onion skin. So here's how you can do it smooth. These are great for to be able to write on to do names. But this is the same kind of texture. And yes, Jen, this texture works great on golf balls too. But I would do it with one of those little rounded fondant tools if you want to do that. Hey, Priscilla, how are you? So we can get that. And then let me turn this. Let me turn it so you can see how lifted these are. I'll try to get right under the camera here. Can you see that? So you can see they're very raised. It's going to be absolutely beautiful on the cookie. So let's slide that one to the side. Whoop. I definitely need to set up a tray in here because we're going to be going through quite a few, right? Now, let's come back to this one. And again, you can use this for doing oranges, lemons, limes. Right now, what we're going to do is just do a lemon slice, okay? So because I have the yellow open already, but you could easily do a lime. Oh, you know what? No, I was going to do the lime because I wanted to show you how easy it would be to get some nice definition by having your two different colors here. Let's do something right here. Are you guys seeing that as green? I'm not sure. Let me see if I can lower this temperature of the light a little bit. Let's see. How is that? Oh, that might be a little better right there. I'm just going to go with the cooler tone for right now. But we're going to go ahead and do the lime. And we're going to use two colors. These colors are linked in your supply list. Just trimming the bag and making sure that tip goes off to the side so it doesn't end up in one of my transfers. Cutting it at about a 2 point. If you're familiar with the metal tips that we use sometimes to ice with, I'm just cutting that off to the side. Let me show you something so easy though, you guys, for real. If you just make am I in frame? Yep, in frame. So let's just do a nice dark outline. And the cello bags to cover this in, I prefer to use those because it gives me a nice flat transfer on the back, as opposed to when I create these on parchment paper or wax paper or even page protectors. That's just why I prefer to do that. So I'm going to do that dark outline. Okay. Then I'm going to come back with just a couple of shades lighter in my green. And basically I'm making the rind of the lime here. And I'm going to show you how to fix that so that you guys know what to do. And of course, that outer dark part of the skin is usually very, very thin. And can you see I missed just a little gap right here? So I'm just going to use my scribe and encourage that to scoot over. What's also nice if you're a beginner is that lemons, limes, oranges, they are a rounded shape, but they are generally not perfectly round. So don't worry if your circle isn't perfect. Now watch what I'm going to do really quickly. This adds just a little visual pleasing to the eye. I'm just going to blur these two lines, much like it would be on an actual lemon, lime, or orange when you cut it open, where that pulpy section meets up with the outer skin section. Just that little bit of coaxing right there gives the colors a little bit of variation. This is one time that you wouldn't mind if your colors went back and forth. It just, that little bit of non-definition, so to speak, just makes it look beautiful. All right, so what we're going to do now is we're going to come back and we're going to go ahead and fill in the entire center section with our green. And we're going to use the lighter green at this point. And this is a little bit less consistency icing. This is more like 18-second icing. The other one that we used for the lemon was slightly thicker so that we could do that little bit of sculpting. All right, so this is the base. Then we're going to grab some white of the same consistency because we don't want to be using a thick with a thin. These need to be the same second icing for this to work properly. And we're going to come back and we're going to create this light section. Now, when you're doing these little itty bitty pieces and you're doing this tiny, tiny detail work, you want to keep the tip of your bag. If you're using tipless bags, you really want to keep them, that little opening, as small as possible. All right, give me just a second. All right, now what we're going to do is just come right back in here and we're going to work this down in. We do want it to not be perfectly straight lines. So we're just going to work that in here. And you'll see what happens. The reason we're using the white and then working the green into it is we do want the definition. We do want it to look like it's a slice when it's on the cookie, but we don't. It's such a subtle variation that it's hard for you to see on camera if I just lighten it by a few shades. So we're going into the middle there. Try to keep working all of your lines into the middle so that it ends up looking like slices that come all the way across. So you just have to watch that when you're working it in. Let me just finish this one up for you. And then if you want, you can blur your lines just like we did around the outside edge. I'll leave that up to you. You actually could just have filled this in with the green and left it, and you could have come back with a light green marker, and you could have done your sections with a light green marker or a slightly green marker right over the existing color. So that's kind of fun. If you are afraid about doing this part or this takes too long for you, you can do that. So we've got our nice little slice here. All right, we've already talked about how to sculpt a 3D, so let's move this one to the side. All right, let's see. So in there also you have this one. This is the one I really like to do with oranges, but I like to pipe each section separately. So pipe this, 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 and this, let it crust, and then come back and pipe these sections. When that's all done, I like to come back and do my outer perimeter. So I can demo that one for you tonight if you want. We won't be using this in the picnic project. We're going to go ahead and jump on. Also in your template packet today, you have watermelons. These are just basic watermelons, half circles with the rind and the seeds added. So I'm going to show you 2 ways to do these, and we're going to work on the larger one, okay? I just want to make sure I don't put anything down in wet icing there. Let's see. And we are using a red for the watermelon. We're going to be using a red and then a watermelon pink. So I'm going to get both of these ready. We're also going to be using both shades of our green. And this is for Gettin Fruity. So these are the colors we're going to be using here. We've got a forest green, a neon green, a watermelon pink, and then a red. All those colors are listed in your supply list for today. What I like to do on the watermelon is start with the rind, the outside edge. So typically what I do when I'm doing these, and you know I'm right-handed, so I'm going to keep spinning this. The camera is not upside down. Everything is fine. And if you'll give me just a second, I'd like to take that coffee shop piece off so that you can see more. Perfect. Let me get back up to your comments. And did everyone have a good weekend? We had so many storms here. It was crazy. And I love storms. The only way the storms could have gotten better for me, because there was no damage, of course, so that makes it okay. But I used to live near the beach, and I used to love to watch the lightning storms when they would roll in before and after hurricanes, or just when we had a random storm during the summertime. But where I live now, the only way the storm could have gotten better is if I'd actually been up on top of the mountain when it was storming, because the lightning over the valley is like its own personal light show. It's amazing. All right, so we're going to start with our darker green. And we're going to put down a nice border. Now, you guys, if you're doing these all at the same time, then your slices are going to make a nice solid transfer. So I'm going to go ahead and do 4 of these. And I have it upside down because I'm right-handed. So I want to, I'm piping from the right towards the left. I'm going to do 4 of these because I want to show you how to do it with just icing, and also how to use black nonpareil candies in here, okay? So let's do that. Then you don't have to do this next part. I just find it makes a really pretty, a very pretty transfer when you have these colors all working together. It's so summery. We're going to come right in there with the lime green icing and do a little edge. Okay, and I am working on the bigger sheet because I want these oversized watermelons because we're also going to do some ants for our picnic theme. I think the little theme like for barbecue and things for the summer with the little ants is just so sweet. So we're going to practice ant bodies on a transfer. Let you get the hang of it. Make sure you've got your cratering under control, and then you can actually pipe right on the cookies, okay? So now what we're going to do is we're going to come in with our red. It's really a light shade of red. I'm going to come in here, and do you see that I'm just making a couple little areas here with it, a couple little lines? Now, also, you guys, the reason I like these 6x6 layouts is the cello bags, they store easy, they come off of here super easy. I can move my transfers from one thing to another and keep going. I can just slide it into another board with a backer. But I also like it because it's a small work area. I find that when I use the transfers that are on 8.5 by 11, that I end up putting my hand, my elbow, my wrist, something into the icing. So keeping it on a 6x6 just keeps it a little cleaner for me. Okay, so can you see what I'm doing is I'm just going immediately into those open areas and I'm adding that lighter shade. I just find for me, this is a little more visually pleasing when I've got a little bit more going on like this. So I'm going to come in with my scribe. And I'm just going to swirl these colors together so it looks a little pulpy, right? Get that red and that watermelon color going together. So it won't stay looking like a rainbow. And just work your two colors together so you have a little bit of veining. You're not going to see it as great on camera right now. You can see the motion of what I'm doing. But when these are dry tonight, you'll be able to see how much it added by just taking that little bit of extra time to create this part. So here we go. We've got all four of these swirled, and it's nothing particular about this. Just do a little swirling. If you happen to overpipe an area, use the edge of your boo-boo stick or your scribe, and you can clean that up before it's dry. You won't be able to clean it up once it's dry, though. It will actually break the transfer, okay? Lavelle, I'm using tipless icing bags from Bee's Baked Art, and also the ones that's what I'm using on that particular bag. But I also use the ones that I linked on your supply list that you can get through Amazon. All right, so let's come to this. This is a teeny tiny bag of black. I'm going to cut the hole as small as possible. It's really even smaller than a 1-inch tip. I mean, not a 1-inch, a number one tip. So seeing the reason that this too, I like to always leave one not done. I never do all of these at the same time because I need one for reference. So looking at that and knowing I want this, I'm just going to make some little circles right in my icing so that if you want this to be all royal icing, it can be all royal icing. All right, so I just made little circles. And now what I'm going to do is take my scribe into that and I'm going to pull them forward so that they get that cool teardrop shape. And if your icing happens to be a little too thick, that motion is going to help those little divots to settle down into your icing. So can you see that okay? Let's lift that a little bit, let you get a look at that. Now, of course, it would not be a Tuesday tutorial with Amy without what I'm about to do next. So I have my little black nonpareils. We're going to drop a few of those in. If you want to do this with your tweezers, you can. Just grab a couple so that you can tell where you're going to be dropping them. Drop them down onto the watermelon, and then you can work them right down in. You don't want the whole thing seated up on top of your transfer. You kind of want to knock them down in there. But so cute to use an actual candy. The kids get such a kick out of the candy being on the transfers. So you've got two ways you can do it. You can go, or three ways actually, I guess. You could go seedless watermelon, like what's pictured here. You can do it with black icing, which is what's pictured here. And then here you've got it with the little nonpareils, okay? All right, and you can also mix your green and your light green together so it looks a little, let's see. Oh, the sheet protector for the template. Okay, this is actually not a sheet protector. It is a cello bag, a 6x6 self-sealing cello bag, and that's linked on the supply list. So you can download the supply list for free, click that link and read all about it. It's a food safe cello bag. I like them because they dry really flat. Your transfer stays super flat. All right, so we've got that one done. Now, how about we go and do a kiwi really quick, okay? Let's see. So for the kiwi, we're going to do an outer circle of a darker green like the skin. Now, if I really wanted to get artsy and fancy today, I would let this set up just a little bit and I would make a rough texture like what you'd actually have on the kiwi. But for purposes of our video, if you want to do that, you would just dampen your brush and dab it off, and then you can pull this out a little, right? So you get that rough texture. You know how kiwi fruit has that rough, that like peach fuzz on the outside of it. You certainly could do that with this, and it's just that simple. It's just how much time you want to put into the transfers. If you're well ahead of time of when you need these things, you could spend all the time in the world. But if you're trying to knock something out fast for an event or something, then you're going to want to keep moving and make it look like what you need it to look like without a ton of extra time. So here we go. We're going to keep this as a frame of reference. We're going to work in this one. This is fun. It's our same colors as our lime, but you're going to see when we're done, it's absolutely going to read kiwi. All right, so we're going to put that together. Let's give it a little swirl with our scribe, just so it coaxes it to settle down. So much fun, right? Now, I am going to pop all of these just in case someone's wondering. I am going to pop them in the dehydrator. When we get done, I'll do a few more on each sheet and pop them in case I break something tonight. But always make an overrun of about 5 to 10% of whatever you actually need for your cookies in case you have any trouble. Now, we're going to go into the center, but we're not going to watch this just so you understand what I'm saying. We're not going to do this in the center of the kiwi. That's not how we want to get that look. Do you see what I mean? Like piping that actual shape that's typically the center of a kiwi. We're not going to pipe that actual shape. Hey, Jeremy, I'm so glad you made it. We're going to put a circle right in the center. So get your bag straight up and down. Pipe a little circle right into it. You see that? Then you're going to take your scribe and you're going to work from the center of the circle out, pulling out to make those points. That's how you want to make the points on something this small so that you don't accidentally add too much icing. So you see how we got that nice kiwi star that's typically in the middle by working from the center of the circle of icing, pulling it out. We've even, because we didn't wipe in between, because we didn't wipe the scribe, we've even got a little bit of the green in the center here. Isn't that nice? All right, so this is fun. You can do this with royal icing. I'm going to show you with the nonpareils because I love it this way the best. This is my favorite. So we're going to come right in and just drop these in. We're going to use our scribe to settle them down. But then we have a super cute kiwi fruit that also has candy. And wait, because I want to tick all the boxes for Jennifer today, there is one thing we have not added just yet. So isn't this cute though? And if you knock them down, they're small enough that it actually looks, when this dries, it's so cute. It looks just like the fruit. So sweet in here. All right. And Jennifer, I hope you're still watching. Let's see. So we're going to use some of the green Tinker Dust today. Look, so this one will be shiny tonight. So I'm just going to give it a little spritz and I'll show you tonight what that actually looks like when it dries. So we've got that one done. Now let's quickly move into this strawberry because I want you to practice with these. If you download these, get yourself a little bit thicker of the red icing, just a little bit. It's going to work very much the same as the lemon that we just did. And turn it whichever direction you need to turn it based on being right-handed or left-handed. But we're going to sculpt some little strawberries. So we're just going to start pressure piping and work. We want this to be textured. So we're just going to work it back and forth. This is a really thick icing. You can even see if I don't jiggle this too much, it's going to be fine. And I'm getting a lot of lift there in the center by doing extra pressuring and then releasing at the top. And I'll show you what that's doing for me, because I want an actual 3D strawberry here. Okay, so let me show you on the side what we just did. Can you see how far these are off the template? How thick they are? And if I'm very careful and don't jiggle this too much, they're going to stay that high and they're going to stay with a little texture. We're going to let them sit for just a second, and then we're going to come back and do a little sculpting on them. But before we do that, I do want to show you on one of them. If you want to do this, you can do your dots. Actually, let me show you two different things, because if you need to move fast, you won't want to do what I'm about to show you, okay? So you could go back and do this with a black edible ink marker later if you need it to be really fast. If you have more time, you could just use that teeny tiny bag with the black icing that we just cut, and you can put your dots straight into your strawberry. And this is nice because we did all the strawberries lifted, so you can put your little seeds on like that. Okay. Lavelle, this is just cardstock in each of the bags behind my template, what my thumb is on. The reason I do that is so I don't have to print 16 templates if I need to make a whole bunch of something. I can literally just pull this out and move it into another cello bag with the 110-pound cardstock. And I think I linked that in the supply list too for you. It just gives it support so that I can pull my template in and out without causing any fracturing, tension, stress lines on my little transfers here. Okay, so you can do that. You can also wait till it's dry and come back with a black edible ink marker. I did link this for you in your supply list too. You could use the brush tip if you want, or you can also use this little fine point. So that will also work. I will tell you, if you do a bunch of these ahead of time, I find that the marker tends to fade after about a month or so. So if you do a bunch ahead of time, be prepared to freshen up your marker again when you actually use them on a cookie. But then come on, how cute is this? Baby strawberry seeds on here. Let's just put a few, right? We don't need a lot. It's very clear what this is. So let's tuck that in there and pick this one up with a little bit of that icing and work it into this. Now, let me show, that's another trick I probably should show you. I don't think we've talked about it before, but by just putting my scribe into that thick icing, then I can put it into my container. And it works much like a wax tip if you do crafting and have to pick up paper supplies. It works much like that, only of course this makes it all food safe. And then I can tuck them right into my strawberries while that's still wet. Okay, now we're going to do two more things, and then that's going to be your prep work for today, so you guys can get your purchases made. If anybody does want to buy me a sweet tea, I would love that. You can buy me a sweet tea when you're getting your free supply list. And later also, if you're not able to stay with me for the whole project, I will be linking both of these videos back to the coffee shop. In the sale portion, there's a place where I can link a video for you to watch too, so you'll get to see that. But let me show you something with this. My thick green icing, what we're going to do is take our bag, instead of using a tip, we're going to take our bag and just cut that little bird beak. We've done this several times in several other videos, so I feel pretty sure that unless it's your first episode with us, you're going to know how to cut that. Can you see that okay? All right, then we're going to turn it, and while this is wet, you can go ahead and do your little leaves if you want to. And I'll do some more of these for you tonight. But you just put your strawberry leaves right on your strawberry, okay? So let's get this one out of the way for today. Very pretty. I'm excited about this whole summer series with the fruit today. There's a lot packed into today. This was supposed to be a 2-week project, but I'm getting it in today so that I can stay on schedule for the whole summer series of Tiki Hot, okay? Now, I have a template for you. I generally do not pipe my ants on a template because their bodies are so thin. You can, if you're really good, you can do this. I just find it's easier typically to pipe them right on the cookie once the entire top of the cookie is dry. But I just wanted you to have this so that you could practice. So let's talk about that. Basically, we want a nice thick icing, probably a 30-second icing, and you'll pipe the alternating sections. You're going to want to let it sit and crust and then come back in and fill the sections in between. So we would be doing these two sections first. Then we're going to come back and do these two sections because all we're creating, we're practicing the body. The body has a really specific shape. However, if you're a new cookier, don't be freaked out or intimidated by this. Just do 4 circles next to each other. And once you've drawn the legs on and put the little antenna and you put it with a picnic basket set or with fruit, people are going to look at it and realize it's supposed to be an ant. So don't be too hard on yourself when you first start doing these. But you can see how easy it is with a little thicker icing to get the height. What we'll be doing tonight, I will show you this later because I don't think this is going to show up on the cello bag. But tonight, what we're going to do, once it's on the cookie, we're going to come back. Let me actually use the other end and see if it'll show up a little thicker. Can you see that okay? So tonight, what we're going to do is we'll come back once the transfer is actually on the cookie or we pipe it on the cookie, and we're going to do the legs. So we'll be drawing on the legs right on the cookie. Right? And then you can see once you just add those couple little details, it's very clear this is an ant interrupting your picnic. So you'll be fine. Just give this a try. Use this for practice. We're going to be using the smaller ants, something this size on our cookies tonight. So that grab your packet, go ahead and get everything prepped and printed. You can get your icings made. I've got a photograph there to show you all the different icings. And let's see. Did anybody have any other questions for the first part of our Getting Fruity tutorial today? Is there any other questions I missed? Everybody okay over there? All right, well then I will send you a text alert again tonight if you've signed up. You'll also get your StreamYard alert, I think at 20 minutes and 5 minutes tonight. That broadcast is already set up. And I will be back and we will be assembling this cookie. You will need the striped stencil that we used last week or 2 weeks ago, maybe for the flags when I did the patriotic cookies. You'll need that, the red airbrush color. So have your airbrush gun charged up. Have a nice thick green icing because we're going to make some grass using just a tipless icing bag. You don't need any tips for this project. And make sure you have your black edible ink marker. We're going to be doing some little ant trails like we did our bee buzzing trails. We're going to be doing that as well. And I'm going to show you how to pipe a really quick little picnic basket on whatever size or shape cookie that you would like to use, okay? So thank you for joining me. This is Cookie Snack Attack with Seriously Sweet. Please make sure you go join that group. Please jump in and get the text messaging alerts. Invite your friends. Let's get to 500 by the weekend. And if we do, I'm going to give away another free virtual mermaid class, okay? See you guys tonight. Bye.